shows you how far the water is coming up.
Wake up with Al and your weather today. Weekday mornings from 6 to 11 Eastern on the Weather Channel. Wake up with Al and your weather today. Weekday mornings from 6 to 11 on the Weather Channel. And now, your local on the 8s.
Currently, the temperature is 83 degrees under fair skies. Local Doppler radar. The forecast for your area.
Millions of people are at risk, and we're trying our best to get the word out. Hurricane Earl is a dangerous Category 4 hurricane that's forecast to get dangerously close to the East Coast. We have live team coverage on this event. Our hurricane specialist is here. Meteorologist Jeff Morrow is live in Kill Devil Hills, North Carolina. Jeff, we'll get to you in just a moment. But we've been gathering the latest developments, and we want to bring them to you right now.
Yeah, especially since this is the last unofficial weekend of summer coming up. It's imperative that you keep it tuned to the Weather Channel.
Yeah, it really could impact a wide area, much as it's impacted here in the Virgin Islands. Look at these trees. They've been knocked down. They've been uprooted due to those up to tropical storm force wind gusts that they saw around the Virgin Islands, and still, even today, has seen a lot of rain. It may not quite be over yet, but as Hurricane Earl pulls away toward the northwest, we will see less and less of the impact from rain. Now it's cleanup time here around the Virgin Islands. Let's talk more about what's coming here. We're very concerned. Vivian?
Okay, here's the latest satellite picture, and here is Earl again with 135-mile-an-hour winds. It's a Category 4 hurricane. Fiona off to its east. It's just a tropical storm, so definitely all eyes, all concerns are on Earl here. A little closer inspection. It does appear as though the eye is starting to become a little bit clearer, and that's an indication that this system is undergoing that intensification process all over again. It went through a process of eye wall replacement cycle here, but just now, this last frame, we're beginning to see the eye again. So this is still a very, very strong hurricane now as it moves off to the north and west right now. That means it's moving away from Puerto Rico. We had locally heavy rain. The winds were fierce in Puerto Rico as it all the while stayed just to north of the Caribbean Sea and north of Puerto Rico too. But now that it's moving away, and that means it's moving toward the lower 48. Okay, here's a look at the latest radar picture out of Puerto Rico, again, which shows improving conditions for this island nation. But as we look at the lower 48, here we go. We are threatened with this system because it's a good 700 miles away right now, but its track will move right over these very, very warm waters as it gets closer to the coast of North Carolina, and that means this system could maintain its strength as it gets closer here. And then then it's expected to move up the east coast, and it'll move into cooler water, so maybe by the time it gets here, it will weaken. That is what is expected. Here's a look at the overall projected path and its intensification. Again, staying a Category 4 hurricane all the way toward the end of the week as it gets closer to the mid-Atlantic, but then it'll start to weaken as it moves up the northeast coast. We will definitely keep you updated. Nick?
Thanks, Vivian. You know, concern is high for the East Coast, especially since Earl's track may shift a little bit farther toward the west. Meteorologist Jeff Morrow is live in the Outer Banks at Kill Devil Hills, North Carolina. Officials there are telling tourists to beware. We could see some effects as early as, well, Thursday evening. Jeff, what's the scene right there now, and what are officials seeing? Are they talking evacuation as of yet?
All right, well, who better to ask about something like that than the mayor of Kill Devil Hills, and this is Ray Stursa. Thanks for joining us this evening, Ray. And you had a meeting a little bit earlier today. What was discussed there?
We had a meeting around earlier this morning to get our control group together and look at the situation primarily as it pertains to the projected track of Hurricane Earl and what actions we might have to do in order to protect public safety.
All right, but nothing's been done as of yet, right? I mean, we're still in a wait and see.
We are in a wait and see. We're following that western movement a little bit. We're following that track very closely, and we're all hoping that Earl will choose to stay off the coastline.
Yeah, I think everybody is. Now, are you scheduled to meet again during the morning tomorrow?
We do. We have a meeting scheduled for 7 o'clock tomorrow morning, and at that time we should have a pretty good feel as to what actions will have to be taken in order to preserve public safety here in Dare County.
All right, we're under hurricane watch right now, but if that becomes a hurricane warning, does that trigger anything?
Well, I think that'll be very significant to the control group because the seriousness of the situation will be ramped up significantly. I think the watch box that recently went into effect caught our attention that much more, and so a warning would definitely convey to the public the message that we want to get out, which is that we want everybody to be safe.
All right, thank you very much. That's Mayor Ray Stursa here of Kill Devil Hills, and again, it's a wait and see for now, but that could change as we head on through the next 24 to 36 hours. Nick, back to you.
All right, yeah, and there could be some big changes. We sure appreciate that update. Jeff Morrow reporting live from the Outer Banks of North Carolina, the first real place that we could see some significant impacts from Hurricane Earl.
In terms of the eastern seaboard, that is for sure. Of course, we'll continue to bring you the very latest on Hurricane Earl. The National Hurricane Center is issuing advisories every 3 hours. The next advisory will be issued within the next couple of minutes, actually at 8 o'clock, and then we'll have another one at 11 o'clock Eastern Time. And of course, we'll get the latest updates on weather.com if you want to go there.
You can always go there to weather.com. And hey, keep it here for continuing coverage of Hurricane Earl while we're waiting to see just exactly where it goes.
Yeah, parts of the Caribbean are dealing with flooding and damage from Earl, including Antigua and Barbuda, Anguilla and St. Martin. Several countries and territories reported power outages. Cruise ships were diverted and flights canceled across the region.